Yeah, baby. Yeah. Show me the money.
All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report. It is Thursday. It is June 15th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Thirsty Thursdays. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by your good friends right here at bullpenpicks.com. Let's see how our top scorers did yesterday. And Art 55 is back in the lead at 548. You got On Time 34, 506. That's Scott Christensen, and Matt Cap is at 501. And let's see how their picks did yesterday. On Time went 9-6. Yours truly, Ron Raymond, went 10-4. Art 55 went 8-7. And folks, you can follow these baseball pickers each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. Don't forget, check out the atscalculator.com. And if you're into number crunching, you want to check out the ATS calculator, especially if you love baseball. And we'll crunch some of the numbers here today using the atscalculator.com. All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good night wherever you are located on the World Wide Web. My name is Ron Raymond. I'm a 5-time sports handicapping champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. You can find me each Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is where I hang my hat here on my YouTube channel, or you can find me on the website atsstats.com, and that's where you're going to find the Raymond Report. And the Raymond Report is a sports betting system, and when you talk about sports betting system, we're talking about value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability, and a money management system that has to be very disciplined. And if you are new to sports betting, you want to check out the fundamentals of sports betting, as we will go through them each and every day right here at the top of the show. All right, hope you're having a good day. Had a great day yesterday. I was in Toronto. I was in the Big Smoke here in the nation's capital of Ontario, and I was at the Canadian Gaming Summit, and had a really good day. You know what? Met a lot of people in the industry, listened to a lot of speakers, saw some old faces. Hey, the people that I saw from back in, was it 2006? I think the old Gigsy conference when it was in Montreal, and it was great to catch up with Sue Schneider. And Sue is a Hall of Famer. Sue Schneider is a Hall of Famer. She's, if you go to the SBC events, and old River City Group. We're talking about the good old days of the River City Group, where I won my first ever contest. I believe that was the first contest I ever won. But it was good to catch up with Sue yesterday, and also I saw Benji Cherniak from the old Don's Best, and a lot of old faces. So it was good. It was good to see some of the people again. Met some new people also, and there's some interesting going. There was a really good speaker conference on the on sports media, and you know, I'm a CFL guy, as you guys know, right? I love the Canadian Football League, and it was good to hear some of the guys talking about CFL, that they got to catch up with the times and get more sports betting content on their website. So you know what, it was a good positive day yesterday. It was a long day. I took the old 5:30 train. Man, it was so much fun going on. I haven't been on the train since like my military days, and the train is such a smooth ride. You know, a lot of milk runs. You know, you stop at about 6-7 different places on your way to Toronto, but it's really quick. You go in, you get out, and no, the train, if you ever you're traveling, take the train. Train's a really nice smooth ride. And left here at 5:30 in the morning and got home around midnight. So it was a long day, and it was a great day, and it was again, it was good to catch up. And you know what, it's always good to go get a different perspective on where the gaming industry is. And with all the new regulations now into the Ontario and Canada, and also down in the States. It's you got to brush up on what's going on in the industry. All right, so we had a good day, and today we're going to have a hopefully a better day, bringing you guys some more winners right here from the Ram Report. And if you're new to the Ram Report and you're wondering, okay, what exactly is the Ram Report? Well, the Ram Report, as I said, is based on value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability, right? We don't care about injury. Well, we care about injuries. We hope the players who are injured recover. But from a betting perspective, we can only handicap who's available to play, right? So that's what we do. And money management. And if you go to the Ram Report today, or you listen to the show, you're going to hear me talk a lot about teams that are A-type teams, right? The alpha teams of the leagues. I look at the standings from a micro and macro point of view, and you can see that A-type teams are teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. Now, normally those teams like the Rays and Texas, they all come with high price tags and low rewards, right? You got to lay a lot of money. And the B-type teams, 50 to 59.9, those are moderate confidence level teams. This is where you're going to find a lot of your value when you are shopping around for your line value. And then the C-type teams, right? Teams with a 49% or lower, those are teams that have low public confidence level, but they come with high rewards, right? And you know the rules about C-type teams, right? They're like an old high school sweetheart. You know they're going to break your heart about 3 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week, just as long as, as many times as they play. When you think about it, right? Teams with a losing record, let's say they play, 5 days a week. Well, they're probably going to lose about 3 games, right? During those 5 days, you got to figure out which 2 they're going to win. That's why it's you got to play the percentages, right? Play the percentages. You're also going to hear me talk today about teams that are bullish, neutral, and bearish. And bullish just means in the NFL, college football point spreads. Teams that are bullish are 3-0. Teams that are neutral, 1-2, 2-1, and teams that are bearish, 0-3. And for Major League Baseball, that's what we're going to handicap here today. Teams that are bullish, they're 7-0, 6-1, or 5-2 in their last 7 games. Teams that are neutral, 3-4 and 4-3. And teams that are bearish, those are teams that you're trying to avoid at all costs because they're really in a bad cycle. But the contrarian in me is going to say, but you know what? If they're bearish, they got to get out of it. Their do factors do, right? And the thing about do factors, it's like trying to catch a falling knife. You just don't know when they're going to break out of that slump or when they're going to break out of a winning streak too, right? Bearish teams are 0-7, 1-6, and 2-5 in their last 7 games. And we also have the 10 commandments of sports betting. And thou shalt not bet big money on C-type teams in the Ram Report. Never lay points. Take the points. Bet the money line or the over-under. Create your own number. It's your number against the bookmaker's number. Always remember that. Follow a disciplined money management system, which we do here at the Ram Report. Never force a pick because you need action on the game. No, you don't do that. Never, never. Hey, I don't think I have my soundbite. No. Wrong soundbite for that one.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Oh, no, never, never.
Why not?
Against the rules.
Against the rules.
You're stupid when you do that.
No, you're not stupid there, Denis, but, you never force a pick, right? You don't do that. Never, never.
No, you don't do that.
Nope, never. All right, never chase losing bets on a bad day. Bet with your wallet, not your heart. Hey, that's it's getting easier to that. Maybe back in like the 90s and 2000s when you're really more of a sports fan than a sports investor, you're probably betting with your team. But now, with the way sports are going, everybody's an investor now, most people. NHL favorites this year, hey, hit 60%. Day one, I told you guys from day one, I said, guys, anytime, or girls, home favorites coming off a 1-goal loss, keep an eye on that system trend. Since 2011, it's hit 60%. Imagine that, hey? It's like we're giving you tomorrow's newspaper today. That's what that is, basically. We just told you guys, before the season, keep an eye on NFL. Yeah, we can see we're getting NFL ahead of ourselves here. NHL home favorites coming off a 1-goal loss. They win 60% of their next game. So, hey, as old Jerry Maguire would have said,
Show me the money!
Yeah, we did show you the money. Never bet against A-type teams who are bullish at home. You know what? I might go on a little rant today. I might have a little Ron Raymond rant on home teams. I got something to get off my chest on home teams. And it's a good thing, not a bad thing. The 24-hour rule of betting: take a day off after a big win. Yeah, always enjoy the wins. You know, when I'm coaching football, and I always have the 24-hour rule, and the players love it, is because anytime you got to think of it, right? Football teams, you know, depending on how many days a week they practice, it really once a game finishes, you're really trying to get ready for the next game, right? Say your game's on a Saturday, Sunday you're recovering, you're watching last night's film or yesterday's film. Monday you're prepping. Tuesday you're at practice. Wednesday you're at practice. Thursday you're at practice. Friday's a walkthrough day, and then Saturday you're doing it again, right? But you go through the entire process during the week to get to that big game on Saturday, and you win. And the thing is, it validated everything that you believed in that week in practice. And I always say to the players, you know what? Enjoy the win. Take 24 hours, enjoy the win. And it's the same thing in concept in sports betting. You get a big win. Let's say you hit like a 5, 6, 8 team parlay, or you had a lot of money on one play. Don't ruin that feeling. Don't ruin that feeling the next day by giving it back to the bookmakers, right? Take that win, enjoy it, savor it. Take your better half to maybe a movie and a dinner, and enjoy the win, man. Enjoy those wins, and try to avoid betting on teams that are in a bearish cycle. It's like I said, like an old high school sweetheart. They're just going to break your heart, especially those C-type teams, right? Those C-type teams. And if you're looking for more betting tips here, especially money management tips, I wrote a series of articles in, I believe it was April? Around April, May. Yeah, there we go. And if you go to the website and you go, and the thing, guys, when you watch the Rain Report, I'm really big in education. You know, yesterday, the good thing about yesterday, we were talking about with other people and handicappers in the industry, it's about education. And you know what a lot of the sports book says? We want our players to play with us longer, right? Obviously, you know, the shelf life of the sports bettor is like, say, if you give a sports bettor, say, $100, and they're new to sports betting, never bet before, you give them $100. How long would that $100 last the average sports bettor, right? And I said, you know, it's the old adage, you know, you want to fish, you go to the supermarket. You want to eat forever, you learn, teach them how to fish, right? And the thing is, in all the spokesmen, I said, you know, you got to have some type of education component to each of your sports book, or even you hire handicappers to teach your clients how to be a better sports bettor, and you'll get them longer playing. And that's hey, common sense 101. It's when people don't have a good experience in life, and they're playing, they're losing, they're not coming back. Why would I keep doing something that has no fun? And when you teach the average sports bettor to have fun at doing sports betting and be responsible, it's going to be a win-win for the book, win-win for the player. And like somebody said yesterday, a lot of, and I hear this conversation. I've been doing this 27 years, so I've heard a lot of stuff, right? And one of the main things I hear about is, people betting and not telling, say, their partner, right? Their wife or their husband or whatever. And then, eventually what doesn't come out in the wash comes out in the rinse, right? So you can't hide that crap. But you got to be very wise on how you get your resources from sports betting. And now, having spend 10 minutes on that, go to atsstats.com, go to Tools Mastering Sports Betting, and I wrote a 12-part series. I think you're going to really enjoy these articles, because it talks a lot about the fundamentals of the Rain Report, playing the percentages, winning, covering, and repeating. Yeah, wash, rinse, repeat. Understanding chances, understanding the types of systems that are out there when it comes to analytics, the value index, learning the market psychology from the players to the sportsbook point of view, considering player availability, which I talked about right at the top of the show, evaluating rosters and how they affect the betting markets. I say all the time, if LeBron James is not in the lineup, you don't think the line's going to tell you that LeBron James is not in the lineup? And so check it out. It's a 12-part series. Grab a coffee or grab an adult beverage if it's like Jimmy Buffett would say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere and you want to check it out. It's really good. It's a really good piece here, and I think you're gonna have to start on page 2 though. If you really want, maybe I gotta fix it so that when people come in, they say, all right, I'll number it 1, 2, 3, and that's what I'll think I'll do. The introduction's right here, then work backwards, right? It's like when I'm teaching the quarterbacks how to throw. I always tell them, okay, we're gonna start from the end, from the when you throw the football, and then we're going to work our way back, right, on how to get your fundamentals of throwing. You got to throw some football in there since we're already going there. Speaking of football, CFL football tonight, you got the Calgary Stampeders are here in Ottawa, and they're taking on the Ottawa Red Blacks. And I'll tell you one thing, from being a season ticket holder with the Ottawa Red Blacks, they can't poop to bed tonight. They can't poop to bed. They got to get out there and get at it. They got to get out there tonight, and they got to get after it, and they got to get that win, because if Ottawa doesn't start winning football games, it's just like any market. You're going to start losing interest, and it's not a good thing, right, Denis? Where's my Denny, the goalie there? He'll tell me never do that.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Oh, no, never, never.
Why not?
Against the rules. All right, speaking against the rules, as we always do here on the Raymond Report, and before I get to... A's train finally says Scott Christensen. I'm going to go say good morning to the bullpen, and I see that F for Fantastic's in the house. Hey, we're back. Morning all. Solo Rider, good morning, teacher. Hit the like, guys. Yeah, hit that like button if you do enjoy the show. Who's Mizzou's in the house? How you doing there, network? Good morning, coach. You know what? I got my coach shirt on today. Look at that. I see that? I don't know if you guys can see that, but wearing one of my golf shirts. The good thing about doing all-star games all over the place is that you get some pretty good swag. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna, the golf shirt today. I said maybe the coach thing's a little bit too much, but you know what, it's okay. That's what I'm here. I'm in the captain's chair here today, and I'm hopefully giving you guys some good advice on how to win at sports betting. All right, so good morning, Creek Man 8581 is in the house. Scott Christensen's in the house, one of our leaders at the bullpenpicks.com. Scotty's in the house. Top of the morning to you, Scott. Top of the morning, Scott. Derek Para. Good morning, Ray. Do you like the Dodgers to bounce back tonight and win against the White Sox? That's the big question of the day, right, Derek? We want to know if the White Sox, they're really a funny team, right? When Giolito or Dylan Cease is pitching, it's kind of an easy decision that you just got to go do some more check boxes. But we'll get into that, Derek, and we'll see if the Dodgers are a wise play here today to bounce back after that loss yesterday to the Shy Sox. All right, let's go feed the ponies. All right, let him out. Get him in. Yep, they're off and running today at Belmont Park in New York. In fact, the first race today at Belmont is a $75,000 maiden special weight race, 3:05 post time, 5 furlongs. It's going to be on the grass today on race number 1, and we are going to go with the number 1A horse, Grab the Glory, with Jose Ortiz in the saddle. Jose is winning 33% in the money the last 100 races. That just means when Jose has been on the saddle in his last 100 races, he's either win, place, or show 33% of the time, and that's why it's called In the Money. 9-2 morning line today on Grab the Glory. The number 3 horse, Charity First, J.A. Gomez in the saddle on the number 3. Look at the odds, 12-1 morning line on Charity First. And the 5 horse, Nikki Jolene. Hey, Jolene. Hey, they said there would be no music in this, no singing in this show, but sometimes they got to bring some singing sometimes, right? So Nikki Jolene. J.A. Torres, 23% of the money, 10-1 morning line on Nikki Jolene. I just like saying Jolene. Now I got that song in my head. 1, 8, 3, and 5 today in race number 1 today at Belmont Park. And your value play, your Joker's Wild selection, is the number 7 horse with Sorority Party with Irad Ortiz Jr. in the saddle. Irad's only hitting 20%, but you know what? With a future Hall of Famer and Irad Ortiz Jr., that's my money value play of the day. 7-2 morning line. Put 10 to win, 10-2 place today on Sorority Party, the number 7 horse, race number 1 today at Belmont, and hopefully it cashes you a nice winning ticket. Oh. All right. I see my good friend Gloria K is in the house.
Put that coffee down.
Coffee's for closers, and Gloria K is in the house. Good morning, my friend, says Gloria K, and good morning, Gloria. Hope you're having a good top of your morning. I don't know if you're traveling right now. I know Gloria's doing the golf tour sometimes. How you doing, F? Says Gloria K. I missed the racetrack horn sound. Yeah, you know what? The sound bites. When I talk to people who listen to the show, or people who call, we talk. He goes, some days I get these sound bites in my head. I can't get them out. I know the feeling. Eh?
I want winners.
I know the feeling. All right. Speaking of more sound bites, you know what time it is. We got to ring the bell because the opening bell is just around the corner. In round number 1, it's the bookmaker against the Raymond Report Network bullpen. Hey, we're gonna anybody got the knockout punch today for the bookmakers? Hey, we gotta deliver the blow. Tomorrow we'll be traveling, says Gloria K. Her son's a golfer, so she follows her son, and we wish him the best this weekend. All right, let me see here. Who else is in the house? If you want to say good morning to the rest of the bullpen, just chime on in there. And just say, hey, coach, good morning, and how's the bullpen doing? And first time, long time, the old, when you call a radio station, hey, first time, a long time, and somebody wants me to show me the money. And if you have a request, show me the money! There you go, F. I'll show you the money. And anybody who has a request to talk sports betting, or you just like a soundbite like this one here,
How about our offense? When are we going to put it together?
How about our offense? I love that one. Hey, Rex Ryan. I just love it. All right, Major League Baseball yesterday in the bigs, 11-5. Holy chalk. Holy cow.
Holy cow.
11-5 for the favorites yesterday. 8-7-1 to the over-unders. 9-7 on the run line. I was talking to my buddy yesterday in Toronto. I said, you got to bet the run line. Maybe not yesterday, 9-7, but run line's been really good. Look at this, and this is what I was telling my good friend at bestodds.com, Malcolm at bestodds.com. A little shout out to my friends at bestodds.com today. They were there at the gaming conference, and you know what? Check out their website, bestodds.com, and obviously with the name like Best Odds, right? You're gonna get the best odds to make your selection. All right, so you can see right here the run line has been doing pretty good. The run line has been doing pretty good, and look at that this week, pretty good. Still winning 4 of the last 6 days, so I like it. Losing online casino music, please. All right, they want the search music. And here you go there, Scott. And just for Scotty, a little bit of elevator music, eh? There you go. When you want to go lose your butt at the casinos, eh? They play that music to make you feel better, but it doesn't make you feel any better, eh? Not that kind of music. You want something really better, something like this.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah, that's what I want. Hey, that's what you want. That's the hype music, eh? Right before the game. The best damn report. God bless the Rain Report. Woo! Says Armando. Hey, Armando dos Los Santos. How you doing, Armando? And you get a Ric Flair. Yeah, you get a little bit of a Ric Flair on a Thursday, June 15th. But looking at the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, 57% of the favorites have cashed in last 7 days. 50 still even Steven on the over-under. And if you're looking for balance to really, look at this, right? If you look at the favorites in Major League Baseball, which is normally the favorites win 60% of the game. So Major League Baseball favorites this year, there's some parity in the league because favorites are only winning 57.5% of the game. Normally that's about the 60-62 mark. So maybe that's why the underdogs right here on the run line, 54.3. I say it all the time. What's the bookmaker's job? Put 100 people in the room, get 50 to bet the White Sox, 50 to bet the Blue Jays, and they'll make their money in the middle. But they're getting close to it on the run line, the money line with Major League Baseball. So we're in a neutral market. So fire away if you're betting Major League Baseball. All right, let's go take a look at the MVI, the Market Value Index. And let's see. And before we get to the market value index, I'll cue it up. Where's my market value index? Let's go look at the standings. Let's go see who's who in the zoo in Major League Baseball. And I told you guys at the top of the show I was going to talk about home teams, how they're. I was thinking about that this week, and I'm going to show you. Before I show you that, let me go to the database, and might go on a Ron Raymond rant right now. Hey, might be another Ron Raymond rant because home favorites, I had just noticed last week. I was saying, man, is it just me or the favorites winning at a high clip lately? and I'm gonna take a little search right now. I'm gonna, hey, speaking of search, there you go, Scott. Hey, there you go. While I'm looking for the home teams, hey, I'm gonna go Annie, and I'm gonna go in June. Can't do the flute. I can't do the flute thing. Just drives me nuts. All right, June 14th. All right, 2023. Not May. We're still June. And June 1st. All right, let me see how home teams are doing. And cue up my in case I need my holy cow. Home teams, 53%. Okay, no, don't need a holy cow there. Let me see the last 7 days then. It just, for some reason, the last week, I just felt like last week, home teams were winning at a big clip. So let me see. Okay, let me go from the 11th to the 5th. I'm just going to take a look at this. I'm going to go, searching. Hey, got a cue while I'm searching. Got to give you guys something to listen to. I don't like dead air. 7, what did I say again? 7 to... the 11th. Yeah, so 5th to the 11th. That's it. Yeah, there's the flute. To the 11th. All right. Home teams. Let me see. Nah, not that bad. No, okay. I thought it was a little bit better than that. 54%. So last week, or maybe it was the weekend. Maybe it was, sometimes you get these series, right? Sounds so funny in true casino music, says Solo Rider. Yeah, exactly, right? Now, you ever get these, it's these miscellaneous things that just pop in sometimes and you just notice them and you're like, is it just me? Is the home team just winning like the last 3-4 days? I just had that feeling last weekend. And I said, you know what, when I'm on the show, I'm going to talk about this, and I want to see. I'll go to the 9th to the 11th. I just see maybe it was just the teams I was betting that the road teams. And I one thing I tried to, I really I catch myself sometimes is I try not to bet a lot of road teams. Are you like me? And I'll show you why. Because when you look at the Raymond report, the standings, Major League Baseball, look at the A-type teams. They win 64%. They're pretty good on the road though. They win 61. But when you get over here, B-type teams win 57, but only 49.4, which is still pretty good when you think about it. B-type teams on the road, but for some reason, let me go back to my my search right here. What did I say? I said the 9th to the 11th, and let me see how home teams did that day. 42%. Okay, wow. It must have been just the teams I was betting, because for some reason, I thought the road team, the home teams, the road teams did very well, and I thought for some reason there was hey, maybe it was just those teams I was betting. But yeah, I get into these cycles where I look at home teams and said, you know what, maybe I got to bet more home teams, but especially A-type teams. A-type teams at home, 64.9. Man, that's an amazing record. That is an amazing record. All right, so back to the market value index. We'll go to Major League Baseball, and we'll see which teams are very bullish, bearish, and neutral in the markets. And let me go over here. Sometimes you got to wait a little bit because it's not as quick as I'd like it to be. All right, Tampa Bay, Texas. So look at Texas. Texas is the only A-type team, so teams with a 60% or higher win percentage that's not having a really good run right now. In fact, Texas only winning 28% of their games. The market confidence is 28%, 2-5 in their last 7 games. So they're in a bear cycle, but the market confidence level is 28%. Now, here's the one thing I like about the DMVI, the Daily Market Value Index. Now, if you're new to sports betting and you're wondering, you're saying, okay, today is Texas playing today. Let me see, the Rangers playing today. A little behind today because I was traveling yesterday, so got in really late. So Texas is off today. I'll get a team that's playing today. Tampa Bay. All right, here Tampa Bay is playing, and look at the Daily Market Value Index, 241. That's the market value index, right? Tampa Bay, the best team in baseball. So with these best teams, you get these high market value perception, right? But on the bet value report card, I'm going to show you what their market value is today. That's just the overall one from a macro point of view. Now, from a micro point of view, from teams to teams, this number is a little bit lower. In fact, Tampa Bay, I got 187 on the value index. Baltimore, a bullish team right now. Baltimore, even though they lost. Hey, Jose Barrios. If anybody can, I had Toronto yesterday. That was the only members play I had yesterday was Toronto, and I know the perception out there on Jose Barrios is that when he's on the road, he's like a Jekyll and Hyde pitcher. But you got to give Jose Barrios his props this year. He's been dominant. He's probably, him and Bassett, probably the two best pitchers for the Blue Jays. Gossman, he had his moments, but yeah. So congrats if you had Toronto yesterday against Baltimore. Texas, they're a Bears team right now. Atlanta, 71% confidence level in the markets. Arizona, 71%, losing again to the Phillies. Hey, 2-game losing streak now for Arizona. That was my free play yesterday to let us down. Yankees losing last night to in the extra innings against the Mets. Houston, LA Dodgers, Toronto, Miami. Angels are bullish right now. They're 5-2 in their last 7. The confidence level in the market 71%. San Francisco also with a 71% market confidence level. The Bucks, you know what? The Bucks had that really strong start of the season. They're about a series away from going back to a C-type team, being the old Bucks, right? 28% market confidence level right now in the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then Minnesota, 57% on the confidence level. A neutral team right now. Neutral again, right? When you go to the Rain Report and you go to, let's go back to the homepage right here. And we're going to take a look at those A, B, and C-type teams in the Rain Report. So let me go right there. So those neutral type teams, either 3-4, 4-3, or B-type teams, 50 to 59.9. And that's why, which team did I say there? Minnesota? Or who else was neutral that I said? Yeah, Minnesota, the Twins, 57%. Milwaukee, ooh, we got trouble here. We got trouble in the Brew Crew land. 1-6 the last 6 games, 6-game losing streak, bearish. And Philadelphia having a good bullish run right now. 34-34. See, you go to a World Series, you're supposed to. That's like the Super Bowl hangover, right? And they're having a World Series hangover. It's been a long hangover. Speaking of hangovers, that was probably one of my funniest movies I ever saw all time. The Hangover. All right, let me see here. San Diego, the C-type teams. You can see right here, San Diego, man, they're up and down, right? It's 5-2 though. They're bullish, 71% market confidence level. And the New York Mets, even though they won yesterday, is still a bearish team right now. So anytime that you see these pink teams here, or red, those are the C-type teams that are bearish, right? You don't want to touch those teams. But San Diego, Cincinnati on a good run in the C-type teams. When you're thinking about betting on teams that are in the last place or have a losing record, always come to the market value index page to see which C-type team is on a little bit of a hot streak. San Diego, Cincinnati, and Oakland. Hey, Oakland. Wow. Hey, what can you say about Oakland? But they finally lost yesterday. But 6-1 in their last 7 game, and I'll never still bet Oakland. Sorry, I won't do it. Can't do it. Hey, where's my Mike Singletary? Can't do it.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Can't bet on Oakland. Sorry, can't do it. All right, let's get to the games here today, and we'll go to the report card. Let's go to the report card I was telling you guys about. This here. The Hangover is such a fun movie. It says, Derek, you know what? When that first came out, it was just like you didn't have to convince me. I was going to watch that. That was such a funny movie. All right, let's go to the report card. And how to get your report card? You got to go to your dashboard. And once you get your dashboard, you go to your not value. What am I keep clicking on value report? Hey, I got to go report card. There you go. Tip sheets, report card. We'll go to Major League Baseball. And what I'll do here is I'll bring up the computer picks too, so we can see who they played last. Oh, no, not CFL. Man, take one road trip and I'm all off the next day. Hey. All right, report card. Click the game matchups, and let's kick it off at Camden Yards today, where Tyler Wells is going up against Yusei Kikuchi of the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, looking at both starting pitchers, Kikuchi right now. And let me just bring up his stats and trends. Trends are your friends, but they don't pay the rent. Yusei Kikuchi, 6-2 on the season, 4.34 ERA. Tyler Wells, 5-2, 3.24 ERA for Tyler Wells. Now, looking at the Blue Jays, a 42.9% chance of winning today against Baltimore, 54.1. The forecast is favoring the O's here at 4.6 to 4.2. Baltimore 21-13 at home this year, and the Blue Jays 19-18 on the road, and against A-type teams 9-12. So you can see they do well against the B's and the C's, not too good against the A's, right?
These are the ABCs of me, baby.
Yeah, these are the ABCs, and remember, A-type teams 60% or higher, B-type teams 50 to 59.9, and C-type teams below 500. Neutral 5 days against bullish 4 days. So that just tells me that Baltimore's on a better run the last 4 days. Actually, more than 4 days, right? Because to get bullish, you got to be in a 7-game cycle. So they've been in a good 7-game cycle for maybe about close to 2 weeks now. Minus 137 is my line. 125 is the line for Baltimore. So you can see that the O's are undervalued today. So if you like, here's the thing. If you're shopping for value, play the percentages, right? Like I always talk about on the show. Baltimore looks like a very good value play of the day. Percentage play also in your favor at 54.1. The performance cycles, hey, they're going through a good cycle. They're on a 4-game bullish cycle. So you know what? I think Baltimore, even though Yusei Kikuchi's been having a pretty good run, I wonder how the Orioles do against lefties at home. Let me check this out. Go to the Raymond report, and let me see if I got that in my report here today. If not, we'll have to go hit the elevator music and go find it. Hey, I know Scott Christensen just dying for that next round of elevator music, right, Scotty? Hey, where does he say? Losing online. Yeah. Okay. Did I hit the... come on, Ron. You got to hit the Baltimore button. And let's get the Baltimore Ravens. Orioles. Hey, I'm in football mode. Must be the CFL. Let me see here. Let's go down here. Against lefties. 3-4. So Baltimore at Camden Yards. 3-4 this year. But look at that. 2-5 to the under. Hey, where else are you going to get this kind of information on the fly? Right here at the Rain Report, right? So if you're wondering, hey, I couldn't sleep last night because I didn't know what Baltimore's record was against lefties at Camden Yards. I don't blame you. I was having the same nightmare. They are, where are they? 3-4, but 2-5 to the under. 2-5 to the under. So maybe the under is this website free to use? Yeah, we got some. Chris Watak, we do have some free stuff. If you go to the top of the page, you see matchups. Those are free matchups, and if it doesn't say free matchup, we'll take you to a registration page. But if you go here, let me just show you guys. So the question in the bullpen was, is this website free? If you go up here, matchups, you're going to get the Raymond Light Report. This is all free, and there's some really good stats too at the bottom, and you just keep scrolling, and you will get some of the stats and trends. Some of the teams don't have any 60% or higher trends. Like, see, when Oakland is a home team during the month of June before a non-division game, coming off a loss versus an American League East opponent, and was a home loss, 8-2 to the under. I tell you, where else are you going to get these kind of stats, right? Maybe ChatGPT, but I don't think so. I don't think ChatGPT's got these kind of stats, because you know why? You got to feed the stats to that ChatGPT. All right, let's get to game number 2. Speaking of the Oakland A's and the under, Tampa Bay going to send Taj Bradley to the hill against Paul Blackburn for the Athletics, and you can see the line is minus 200. I had minus 187 as the line. So again, shop for value, play the percentages, right? And team performance cycles, I got 187. The bookmakers making you overpay today on the Rays with Taj Bradley on the bump. And you can see Taj is 4-3, a 4.19 ERA. Paul Blackburn has yet to taste a victory, 3.60 ERA for Bradley. And I got 5.1 to 3.5 as a score forecast, but 38.4% chance of winning. I'm going to go with the Rays here. I think losing those first 2 games probably woke them up, and I'm going to go Tampa Bay today against Paul Blackburn and the Oakland Athletics. All right, let's go to the Phillies game at Chase Bank Ball Field or Ballpark. Arizona going to send Ryan Nelson to the hill against Aaron Nola for the Philadelphia Phillies. Now Nola on the season 5-5 with a 4.6 ERA. Ryan Nelson 3-3, 4.95 ERA. You can see both these teams are bullish, so you're going to have a really good baseball game today. In fact, first pitch today at the Chase Field looks like it's going to be an afternoon delight, eh? And there's another good song, eh? Afternoon delight. Yeah, they said there'd be no singing in this show, right? But say, what the hell, you gotta have some singing, right, Krusty?
What the hell is that?
Yeah, just trying to sing, that's all. All right, Philadelphia against Ryan Nelson right there. Arizona 21-16 at home this year, 15-23 for the Phillies. The Phillies, a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team, right? The Jekyll at home, they Hyde on the road. 15-23 on the road. But the good news is they're probably playing their best baseball this season. 1-2, and then they win 2 against Arizona. Is this a 4-game series? Let me go to the Rain report, and let me see. Let's see if we can bring it up real quickly before that elevator music kicks in. But just there you go, Scott. I know Scott's dying to hear this, and there you go. All right, so Philadelphia, is this a 4-game series? I think it is. Let me see, Phillies. Yeah, it is. All right, so let's see how. And I know you couldn't sleep last night because you want to know how Philly does on a 4th game of a series on the road. 1-1, only had 2 road games where it's a 4-game series. 2-0 to the over. And how about look at the well, I'm not surprised. Tampa Bay. I mean, Arizona's been one of the teams, my under the radar teams that those teams that nobody believes in, but then you do, and that's what I call my under the radar teams. Baltimore's another one, and I was having this conversation with Malcolm yesterday. I said, there's before the season, I look at all the teams, I wait to the 20-game mark, and then I go find those under-the-radar teams that win, that people don't believe they're going to continue winning, right? Pittsburgh was one of those teams, but they're fading quickly. Hey, holy cow, what's wrong with as Harry Carey would say?
Holy cow!
Yeah, holy cow, get your act together there, Pittsburgh. But yeah, so I think Arizona, one of those under-the-radar teams I kind of like. Ryan Nelson against Aaron Nola, though. I don't know if I want to test Aaron Nola today. 5-5, 5.6. How he's doing in the last couple starts. You know what? He hasn't been lights out. Let me see. But he's getting the one thing with Nola, he'll give you innings. It's the old school pitchers and with these new school pitchers, or maybe it's the managers that just pulls out the pitcher quicker. Back in the day, Pedro, and I say this all the time. The Roger Clemens and all the good ones, right? All the aces, all the Cy Young type, Greg Maddux, they'd go 7-8 innings. Not today. Today you get to 5 innings, boom, you're out. Hey, arm preserve the arms. Nola, but he'll give you innings. Every start since, let me see here. That's one thing I like to do when I look at all their starts. Take away Nola's first start, he's gone 5 innings plus every start. That is amazing. That is kind of really, wow, tip of the hat to Aaron Nola. So you're going to get a good outing out of Nola. Maybe the under is where you want to go here. I know somebody asked me a question in the bullpen yesterday. I will get to that question. Somebody asked me about the question from the show the other day on Tuesday. I was traveling yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to reply, but I know there was a question regarding the unders, so I will get to your question there in just after the show or today. All right, so Philadelphia 47. Man, I just hate going against Arizona and Baltimore these days. 21-16, 15-23. You know what? I think the under is where you want to cash that ticket today. I think the under might have more value, but let's go to the Rain report, right? Anytime you're in you're on the fence, I always go to my fundamentals, and the fundamental is this: where's the value? 117, 130. So overvalued Philadelphia. And fair market value for the Arizona, 127. So what are you getting on, what does Bookmaker have here at Arizona? The D-backs, Arizona. All right, 118. Yeah, so close to fair market value right there. So fair market value. So you got an overvalued Phillies team. The percentage play, 47.06, 43.05. And if you're wondering, well, how do you come up with these percentage plays? What I do is we have our database, and we go look at the situation both these teams are in today. So let's say, for example, I don't know what exactly the winning streak or Philadelphia's in. Let's say they're on a 2-game win streak or a 2-game losing streak, and they've scored 5 runs and they gave up only 1. Well, we try to go look for those exact type of situations that the current team is in, and we go see what the results were, and this way we come up with a percentage. So this way, history is a good teacher, right? So for the lesson, and we go see exactly what the percentages of that. So 47.06 to 43.05. Not bad. That's really, it's really good. Anytime you get 40% or higher for the underdog is always worth consideration. That's why I'm kind of like, I wish Arizona was below 40% because it'd be a sure thing for me to take Philadelphia. Now, not a sure thing to win, but a sure convincingly factor to take them to take them as a pick. Now I do have 4.75, 4.3. And the only thing that scares me, some of these indicators, they're 15-23 against. Let me see here. Okay, that's the run. So against A-type teams, 5-9, and Arizona 9-9 against those B-type teams. Pretty good. Both teams are bullish. You know what? I gotta go with the workhorse. I gotta go with Aaron Nola. I gotta go with Nola here. So I'm gonna go Philly. I hate going against Arizona or Baltimore, but seems like I'm doing today. I'm taking Baltimore, right? So okay, there's my even Steven. There's my law of average play of the day. All right, Detroit taking on Minnesota. Sonny Gray, Sonny against Matthew Boyd, the lefty, and you can see right here Matthew Boyd on the season. And what time's this pitch today in Detroit? It's in Minnesota, and it's a 7:10 start. And you got Matthew Boyd 3-5, 5.55 ERA. Sonny Gray 4.1, 2.25 ERA. You know what? Sonny Gray keeps pitching like that, he might be in the Cy Young talk, right? So we'll see what happens there. And 64.1% chance of winning compared to 25.2. I'm not going against Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray, Sonny. Let's go with Sonny Gray and the Twinkies. Ron, do you ever bet no runs first inning, or you know what? Great question. So the question on the bullpen is this: Ron, do you ever bet no runs first inning, or what's why RFI? So obviously, if I don't know, I don't bet it, right? Hey, what's YRFI? And I'm not a big first inning or first five. Maybe I'm traditionalist when it comes to that, or old school. It's just less is more. And we had to, again, great conversations yesterday at the industry, and talking about why sports books are probably having a problem retaining their players is because if they're betting runs, okay, if they're betting innings and they're betting in live games or props and all those types of stuff, they're going to lose their money quicker. And if they lose their money quicker, then they're probably going on their credit card, and now they're piling up debt. The national debt in the world is big enough as it is, right? We don't need to add to it. But no, I'm not a big first run player. The one thing I will say though that I'm really big on, the live in-game betting. I think live in-game is a perfect way to maybe hedge out your bet. If you know you're going to lose that bet and you want to try to go recoup some of that money back, I think live in-game betting is a good I don't know if I can say it's a good bad thing, because the bad thing is you're losing your bet, but the good news is you can go get half the money back, but it's going to cost you a little bit more to do it. But so that's the one thing I do like about prop betting, live in-game betting, no runs first innings or stuff like that. But no, and the thing is too is you need resources. Sure enough, like you go to all the main handicapping websites, there's not a lot of handicapping resources for first, no runs first inning, or first 5 innings, and man, and if you start tracking that, it's just your information overload on your mind. You're just gonna have so much to deal with, right? So there's just less is more. And if you keep it at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself again, why are you doing this, right? Why are you betting? Because you want to have fun. You want to have fun.
Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun. Yeah,
and that's what sports betting should be. Some people do it for a living, and if you can do it, all the power to you, because it's a tough way to scrape a paycheck. But it's you gotta have fun doing this. All right, so Sonny Gray, Colorado against Atlanta. The Braves, 71.9% chance of winning today against Colorado. Now they won a doubleheader yesterday in Detroit. Now they're back in Atlanta. AJ Smith Sire going up against Kyle Freeland, the lefty, for the Rockies. 71.9% chance of winning here for the Chop Shop. 5.2, 3.28. You got a team that's neutral against a team that's bullish. And anytime Atlanta plays those C-type teams, they're 23-9. What's their strength of schedule been like? Is it just me, or does it feels like Atlanta's always playing like some of the, some tough teams at home? Not Detroit. Not that Detroit is tough. I just want to see Atlanta's strength of schedule the last 14 days. Let me see who they played, and then I'll go to my database to. I should have done that first. Okay, Atlanta. Yeah, 44. Okay, for some reason, you know what? Let me go to my strength of schedule database. I want to see how they've done at home lately against their teams. So here's another good tool to use. Go to your SOS database. Go to Major League Baseball. So you want to go Atlanta, home team, and we'll do this season. Let's see how they've done this year. All right, 20-15, 21-10-4. Wow, look at the over-under in Atlanta. 21-10-4 to the... okay, so they played San Diego. Okay, no, that was here. Washington, the New York Mets, Philadelphia, Dodgers. Okay, maybe see, that's where I got caught in this series right here. Baltimore, Boston, Seattle, LA, Philadelphia. The Mets could be hit and miss, right? And then Washington was that's a tee up. Hey, well, I'm trying to think of that word that my buddy used to say all the time. A breather. Yeah. Anytime you play a team like teams with a losing record, we call those a breather. They got a breather there. All right. So yeah, Colorado. Colorado. Let me see how they've been doing lately. I know the Colorado you trust more at home, but you know what? If you pick your spots with Colorado, you could be doing pretty well. So far, let me see here. Colorado 13-22 on the season, 12-20-3 to the under. They had a good series against Boston. They won 2 of 3 against Boston. They won 2 of 3 against Kansas City, and then they really didn't they didn't have a lot of fun against Arizona. Not a lot of fun against Texas. Then they had fun against Pittsburgh. It seems when they win a series, it's 2 out of 3. You see that? They win 2 of 3 against Pittsburgh, 2 of 3 against Kansas City, and 2 of 3 against Boston. And what do they all have in common? C-type teams, right? But bad news is, you're not in Kansas anymore. Hey, Wizard of Oz, you're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. No, you're in Atlanta. Yeah, you're taking on the Braves. I'm going Atlanta on this one. Minus 250. Yeah, ouch. All right, LA Angels taking on the Texas Rangers. Okay, they were playing. Okay, I didn't. I was looking earlier. I said, is Texas playing today? And they are playing. Nathan Eovaldi going up against Shohei Ohtani. Show me the money! Hey, that should be his new nickname. Show me the money, Ohtani. Hey, that's pretty good. Hey, maybe maybe we need to start a media campaign or a Twitter campaign. Show me the money! Show me Ohtani. All right, let me see here. We're show. Now I got that mind in my head. Show me the money. Shohei Ohtani, 5-2, 3.32 ERA, 9-2. Nathan Eovaldi. Hey, Boston, Mr. Eovaldi. Yeah, we got the Red Sox line one. They like to have you back. Hey, 9-2, 2.49 ERA for Nathan Eovaldi. Yeah, I'd want him back too. Maybe the Blue Jays can get him. I don't know. 57.3% chance of winning today on Texas, who's going through a bit of a slump, right? Look at the Bears cycle right now against LA. LA's been a really good team. LA's been coming off a rough couple of starts, says Scott. You know what? Let me check that out. And I believe you, Scott. Let's go to the numbers. All right, Shohei, yeah, you're right, 100% right. He's only won 1 game since May 3rd, so good call, Scott. And that's why you watch the show, because the bullpen just picked me up right there. I love that, eh? Hand of a dilly. There, you got a dilly there, Scott. Yeah, good job. That's yeah. But you know what? He's grinding. He's got the innings, 5 innings, 7 innings, 6 innings, 5 innings, but he's getting hit pretty much. Yeah, he's getting 3 hits last game in 5 innings, 8 and 6, 6 and 6. So ERA is about 3.2ish. So be careful today. The good news is the bad news is you're facing Texas. Hey, Texas. Let me see here. Texas got to get out of this though. They're in a pretty bad slump. In fact, let's go look at Texas Rangers here. Let me go to back to my bullpen. Where's my elevator music? All right, Texas. Yeah, I guess. If I'm doing a search, you need this, right? Texas. Okay. Let's see. No flute. All right, 9-6 last 15. Texas in the last 15, 9-6. Let's see how they're doing the last 10. Last 10 games. 5-5. Yeah, that's not Texas. 7-2-1 to the over. How's Texas at home? Let's say the last 10 games at home. 7-3. Okay. You know what? A-type team, right? A-type team, but freaking the Halos are playing really good baseball right now. Let me see the Halos last 10. 8-2. Yeah, see, when you get these teams in these cycles that, especially Halo's Angels team, that's a B-type team. Let me see how they do on the road. Last 10 on the road. 5-5, 7-2-1 to the over. You know what? Maybe the over is where you want to go, but I don't know. I don't like going against Eovaldi here. Shohei Ohtani he can sling it. If Shohei's on and Nathan's on, this could be an under game. But the Halo's playing really good baseball right now. Last 15, 7-8. It's just recently, so we're catching them. The bell curve. Where are they in the bell curve? Well, from an investment point of view, where are they in the bell curve? That's where I'd like to know where the Halos are. I got to go with my gut feeling. This is a gut feeling pick. I'm going Texas, and I had them at 151. We're getting good value. We're really getting good value on the Rangers today. So give me Texas Rangers. Pittsburgh, Chicago. I'm gonna run through these now because I got to do some CFL. I don't want to keep you guys hostage here for 3 hours. Pittsburgh against the Cubbies. Strowman, you know what? Strowman's been good. And Pittsburgh, yeah, they're on the way down of the bell curve. Washington, Houston. Yeah, you know what? Washington. Bearish 11 days. Not good. So I'm going to go Houston. Cleveland against San Diego. Cleveland, neutral 2 days. San Diego, you look at that team, and again, I'll say it as I said about a month ago, it's chemistry. There's something about this San Diego team that they don't play for each other. It just, from an outsider looking in, it looks like, if I'm a coach, I'm like, guys, do you love your teammates? Do you love your fans? Win. Just find a way to win. Because at the end of the day, what do winners do, Mike? Hey, what does winners do?
I want winners.
No, winners win. Hey. I thought I had a Mike Singletary's win. I thought I had a Mike Singletary's winner. Always, but you got to do this.
A, B, C. A, always B, B, C, closing. Always be closing. Always be closing.
Yeah, always be closing those winning tickets. San Diego, Ryan Weathers against Logan Allen. Let me check out the stats on Allen. Let me see here. Logan Allen. 3-2, 3.31 ERA. Ryan Weathers, 1-4, 4.93 ERA. I don't know if I can just trust San Diego. San Diego right now at home, 17-18. You got to win your home games. Say it all the time. You got to win your home games. Cleveland, 15-19. But what's Cleveland been doing lately? Let me go to my strength of schedule. Not strength of schedule. Let me go back here. Okay. Let me go to my smart database. I want to see how Cleveland's done. Seems like they're playing a little bit better ball. Let me see here. Any team, say it's in the month of June. Let's see who the hottest teams in the month of June right now. All right, let's go June. Any team, select any. Go get it. All right, Yankees 5-6, Boston 6-8, Toronto 9-4, Baltimore 7-4. Tampa Bay 9-4, Minnesota 6-6. This month of June now, 7-4 for the White Sox. Pretty good, right? Somebody asked me earlier, the White Sox and Dodgers. We'll see about that. Kansas City, wow, holy cow, where's my Harry Carey? Hey,
Holy cow!
1-11. Come on, Kansas City, get your act together. 6-6, Cleveland, Detroit.
Holy cow!
1-11. Oakland 7-5. Seattle 4-7. Come on, Seattle.
Holy cow!
Angels 8-5. Texas 7-5. For an A-type team, you want a little bit better. Houston 7-6. Atlanta 9-3. Winners win. Miami 9-4. Philadelphia 9-4. A C-type team winning. Washington, holy cow.
Holy cow!
2-8. New York Mets.
Holy cow!
3-9. St. Louis.
Holy cow!
2-10. My God, you guys are gonna wear out my speakers. Milwaukee 5-8. Come on, Milwaukee. Yeah, you know what? There.
Holy cow!
San Francisco 8-4. Dodgers
Holy cow!
4-7. Colorado 5-8, and San Diego 8-4. All right, San Diego 8-4. That's what I waited all that time to get to San Diego stat right there. I'm gonna go San Diego, but it's gonna be a Pepto-Bismol type pick. Hey, keep the Pepto real close to you. Chicago White Sox, LA Dodgers. Michael Grove against Dylan Cease. You know what? 39.5% chance on the underdog. On the road, 13-22. Don't like that number. 21-11. It's hard to go against the Dodgers. I hate going against those really, good baseball teams. Even though the Dodgers, a B-type team, they should be an A-type team when you think of it. Against C-type teams, they're 20-10. You know what? I'm gonna take Dodgers to bounce back here tonight. I just don't trust White Sox, and their record against beat. Oh, look at that! I was 10-14 against the Bees, but 3-14 against the A's. I'm still gonna go Dodgers. I guess it's more of a perception versus reality type pick, right? I can't make a really strong case for the White Sox. I can't do it. Hey, Mike Singletary, cannot win with them.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Tough to. Chicago's one of those teams you probably want to bet at home as an underdog, but you know what? On the road in LA, and LA. Let me go look at that before we wrap up the Major League Baseball. Let me go to my Ram report. Let me go take a look here. Let me give it a little bit more attention since somebody asked me at the top of the show. I like the Dodgers today, Coach, says Derek Para. Really? You like the Dodgers? Yeah. Okay, so do I. 3-7. I wish they were a little bit better. Their last 10. Minus 203. Okay, what do I have here? Did I have a minus 203? Yeah, minus 203 on my value index. So we're getting a little bit of a discount. That's because they're 3-7 in the last 10. The percentage play is at 57.3. 10-4 against the C-type teams. That's a little bit of an indicator. So anytime I do this type of handicapping and I bring out, like, say, they're 3-7 in the last 10, they are minus 203 on the value index. The Cows at 57. These are called what I call indicators, right? So you want to string on as many positive indicators. You're trying to make a case for both these teams. But 21-11 at home and 8-4. Is this the rubber match here? Is this so Dodgers won the first one, and are they playing maybe a 3-game series? Who do they got next? They're playing Saturday. Yeah, so this is the rubber match. So you know what? Yeah, I do like the Dodgers. I'm with you. I'm with you. Stampede today says Gloria K. I'm with you, Gloria. All right, let's get to the CFL, the Canadian Football League. Hey, there we go. That's the only soundbite I got for the Canadian Football League. I got to do a better soundbite than that, right? All right, we'll use the Ram report for this one. And we're going to kick it off right here in Ottawa, where the Ottawa Red Blacks going to take on the Calgary Stampeders. Now, Ottawa took it on the chin last week on offense. All right, you know what's coming up, right, Rex?
How about our offense? When are we going to put it together?
Yeah, it seems like that's what we always say here in Ottawa about our offense. And, it's funny because Kahari Jones is now the offense coordinator here in Ottawa, and Byron Miles, our DC. And preseason, we were putting up numbers, but you played Montreal in the preseason, and now you played Montreal last week, so you kind of understand what you're getting yourself into. But keeping in mind, being a football coach, I know you go vanilla in preseason, you really don't show anything, but from a player personnel and picture format. It's funny. I was watching this coaches clinic, and in the States, they call formations pictures. I've never heard of that before. Hey, we call them if there's a quads formation or ace formation, like 3x2 or 4x1, we call that ace or quads. But in the States, they call those pick formations are called pictures. And I was like, okay, that's a little different. All right, Ottawa, Calgary. Calgary didn't look really that good last week either. Calgary, they ran into the BC Lions 25-15. And let me go back to the front page right here and bring up some of the stats on that game. And let me go to week 1. Go back to right here. And what I'll do is I'll recap every week on the football. So this way, you guys want to see how the some teams did last. Go to CFL recap week 1, and we'll go to the game between BC and Calgary. So Lions, 423 yards on offense compared to 251 for Calgary. The passing was right, and the rushing, 135 yards rushing, wasn't really that great. And for Ottawa's offense was just pitiful. In fact, both teams weren't that great on offense. Let me see. The Alouettes pulled a total of 267 yards. averaging 6.6 per play. Ottawa was not that very good. I thought I had another. Let me go back on page 3. Let me get you guys some more stats here. No, that was... go back. Maybe it's on page 1. There we go. Here it is. I don't know if this is it here. All right. So BC Lions. No, okay, that was the recap. All right, back to this game here. Where is it? There it is. Calgary. So Calgary 5-3 in Ottawa, straight up 6-4 against the number, 3-6-1 the last 10. They have 2 ties. Believe it or not, 2 ties. You believe that? 5-3-2, 2 ties. Ottawa does not have a good history against the Stampeders. 2-7, 4-6. I remember last year Calgary's defense just smothered us. In fact, what was the final score last year in that game between the in Ottawa? 17-3. I remember that game. I was like, man, we can't get anything going. We only scored 3 points against Calgary last August, and in Calgary, let me see, at Ottawa. They didn't play. Oh, that's right. They only played one game last year. So yeah, it was 17-3. Calgary losing to. I think we're getting value with Ottawa. Like, this line is now jumped to what, 6.5. I think Ottawa, you're getting good value. It's just they got to get that offense going. And Arbuckle, the quarterback here, he's got weapons. You just got to, we just got to find, we got to get the ball more vertical. Like, this dinking and dunking and the running game, is nice, but you got to get vertical. So we got a 25.8 to 17.9 score here for the Stampeders. I think Ottawa's the play here. I think you want to take Ottawa plus 6.5. I wouldn't, which offense is going to show up here tonight? I think the over, the thing in the CFL, the bigger field, 3 downs, wider field, longer also. So special teams play a big role. And if you can just get good field position, like say after a punt return or a kickoff return, you're on automatically, once you cross the 50, 2 plays, you're in a field goal position, right? So you're in an opportunity to get points. I think the over is probably where you want to go. When you look at both these teams, the strength, Ottawa's their defense. Calgary, Jake Maier is a good quarterback. I'll have to see what Kadeem Carey's situation is, but I think Ottawa is the play here tonight. I think the over is the play too. So I think 43.7 is just about right, and I'll probably go the under is the best play for Daryl Turner. Yeah, you could be. I'm going to take Ottawa. I'm going to go Ottawa plus 6. But I think what offense is going to show up. And anytime you got an offense like Ottawa that's sputtering like that, the obvious choice is take the under. But then the perception out there, right? And Daryl Turner just said the under is the best play. But that's the perception of what the bookmakers want you to think, right? Market psychology of the game. They want you to think that the under is where you want to go. Ottawa plus the numbers here. I'm going to go Ottawa plus 6.5. I think I'm not taking them to win straight up. That's for sure. They're not in that position, and Ottawa doesn't do well at home. Let's be honest, right? Let's go look at let's go to our database right here, and let me go to my strength of schedule, and let's bring up the Ottawa Red Blacks. The last. Who else but the Raymond Report has CFL stats, right? That's what I was telling the guy yesterday at the conference. I go, there's not a lot of sites out there that keep CFL stats. He was just happy that we had on our app that we had the CFL first. All right, let's go to Ottawa at home. Now, Calgary to me is a B-type team, right? Like Dave Dickinson, great head coach. Calgary, always, one of the top of the West. To me, they're a B-type team. Let's see how Ottawa at home, say the last 7 games against B-type teams. 0-6. Wow. 1-5. Crap, I don't. Hey, anyway, Ottawa's not a 2-4 to the under, so somebody who like the under. Does Rouge in CFL happen much, Ron? Yeah, it does actually, Scott. So somebody asked me in the bullpen, does a Rouge happen a lot in the CFL? So what a Rouge is like when the say a team punts the ball or they miss a field goal, the other team can concede a single point, which is known as a Rouge, right? But Arbuckle can't throw the ball. They can't run the ball. 100%. But you know what? Arbuckle had a pretty good game in the preseason. He threw it deep. I had a game last week, so I wasn't able to watch that Montreal-Ottawa game. Thank God I probably didn't, because probably would have fell asleep. But Arbuckle can throw. It's just, can the offensive line give him enough time to throw, and can the receivers get open? The one thing about receivers in the CFL, you would think in the CFL that wide receivers are your most valuable receivers. It's the slot backs, because you got to keep in mind in the Canadian Football League, you're allowed run-ups, and run-ups are when if you watch the NFL, the receivers are standing still and then they got to go on the snap. In the CFL, they can run up to the line before the snap, which gives them a big advantage against a DB who's flat-footed, waiting for the slot back to attack him, and then he can create a two-way go, right? But yeah, so big advantage for slot backs in the CFL who are off the line of scrimmage. But I do like, let me see here. Man, I like Ottawa. I don't love Ottawa. When it comes to the point spread, yeah, not a really good record against the Stampeders. And looking at the history, the history is all Calgary. Look at this. Calgary, after a division game the last 3 years, 9-3-1 on the road. Coming off a one-game homestand, 9-1-1 on the road. Wow, that's pretty good. I wonder how Calgary does against the Eastern Conference last. Okay, let me interesting. Let me go to my super database. I got a lot of databases here. There's a smart database. Let me go to my super database. I want to see how Calgary does against Eastern Conference opponent last, say, 3 seasons. So let's go to the dashboard. Super database. Let's go CFL. Let's go Calgary Stampeders on the road against Eastern Conference opponent. So let's got to scroll down here. Oh no. This is where my producer put in the elevator music. Let me see here. Eastern Conference opponent. Come on, where is it? Versus non-division opponent. All right, there we go. And we do last 3 years. Then we'll do Ottawa. Ottawa will be easy. Not good. All right, last 3 years. Non-division. 4-1. What? Must be more than that. Oh, COVID too, right? That's right. Let me see here. Where's the other? I thought I had like Eastern Conference opponent. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go. Let me check out Ottawa. Ottawa at home against non-division opponents the last 3 years. You know what? Yeah, we had that COVID year. That's why there's low numbers. 1-6. Look at that. Ottawa against like BC, Edmonton, Calgary, and you can see 21. No 20s, right? And they only played 110. Okay, so I'm going to try something. Let me go to... I have another database. I have a lot of database. Regular database, CFL. So let's do this one here. Toronto. Not Toronto. Calgary. They last 15 on the road. I got to go division here. Calgary on the road. Last 15 against Eastern Conference opponents. All right, there we go. So this is what, 2022? See, yeah, so 19, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. All right, 11-4. Wow. 3-12 to the under. So maybe the under is a good stat. Look at that. When Calgary's an away team versus Eastern Division opponents, last 15 games, 11-4, but the point spread is if you're in Ottawa, if you're taking the Ottawa Red Blacks tonight, that's good news for you. 8-7, but 11-4 straight up, 3-10. But you know what? Calgary's going through a little bit of a rebuild, right? You got Jake Mayer now the quarterback. Bo Levi Mitchell's gone. You don't have that comfort level as the backup anymore. That's a big thing too, right? When you had what's his name, Bo Levi Mitchell as your backup, that's a pretty good backup. That's a pretty good backup in the CFL. When Bo Levi Mitchell, what I think he'll probably be a future Hall of Famer. I don't know if you guys think the same way. I think he will be. Let me go see Calgary's depth chart right here for the Stampeders. Tommy Stevens and Chris Reynolds, your backup quarterbacks. So, not a lot of experience there as a backup. So you got to keep Mayer healthy. And for Ottawa, we got, Mazzoli's out. Tyree Adams, who had a pretty good preseason, really. But still, we don't have a lot of experience, but that's the Canadian Football League, right? The Canadian Football League is a passing league, and it's a quarterback league. And when you get these Anthony Calvillos, the Damon Allens type of quarterbacks, legends, what's his name? Ricky Ray, all these type of guys who, throwing quarterbacks. When you have a quarterback who can throw, you keep those guys. Going back to this one here, I think the Ottawa game is, man, look at that. I got no edges on the Ottawa Red Blacks. A lot on the under. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe the under is going to be, man, that means it's going to be a boring game tonight. Hey, if I go to this game tonight, I'm supposed to go to the game tonight. I got season tickets. I'm looking at, I might be hitting the concession stands a little bit hard tonight here. 2-9-1 to the under. Anytime Ottawa's a home team, and they allowed 14 to 21 points against last game since 1996, 9-2-1 to the under. Hey, where else are you going to find these kind of stats here, right? At the Raymond Report, that's where. All right, you know what? You probably talked me off the over here. Probably talked me off the edge. Hey, Daryl? Was it Daryl that talked me off the edge there or what? Let me see here. Brian Kilver, thanks, Scott. Okay, let me see here. So Daryl, the under is the best play. Ottawa likes to control the clock and has a good defense. Does a Rouge, yeah. Arbuckle can't throw the ball. Tim Tebow is more accurate than Arbuckle. That's funny. Hey, yeah, you got a Ric Flair right there. That's kind of funny. At Brian, Ron does show Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right, was there a question there? Did I miss a question? Sorry about that. Ottawa pass rush. Let me go back here. So if somebody asked me a question I forgot to answer, I apologize. They should beat Montreal, but the offense let the defense down. Yeah, exactly. Ottawa has one of the most improved defensive line. We do have a really good defense. Our D-line's pretty good. Actually, our linebackers played well. I saw the stats. Calgary needs Kadeem to touch the ball to win. Yeah, I agree. The quarterback's best friend is a good run game. Calgary running back is injured too. Yeah, Kadeem Carey looks like he's injured. That's why the under is the play. Yeah, you know what, Daryl? And your other brother, Daryl? Hey, heard a little Bob Newhart reference right there. This is my brother, Daryl, and my other brother, Daryl. I think you're onto something. Hey, that's why we do the show, right? Let me go check out the depth chart here for Calgary. What's the latest? Let me see if we got any injury report. No, the CFL, the one thing I'll give the CFL, I'd give them a lot of things there, but they do really well on the information for bettors to get out, right? So I really appreciate that. Kadeem Carey's out, so no Kadeem Carey tonight, so it's going to be a lot of Dedrick Mills and Peyton Logan. The under is starting to look really good here. You know what? Good call. Good call, Scott. Was it Scott that, or Brian, or Daryl? Yeah, good call, Daryl. I think the under is the call. But you see, then it goes with my rule of thumb, right? If you like the underdog, you play the under. If you like the favorite, you play the over. So Ottawa under. If you're thinking of, I don't know why you do a double team parlay, but I think that's the call right there. All right, so good job on that one. Let's get to the next game right here. Let's go to game Winnipeg, Saskatchewan. You know, this is going to be a really good football game because the fans in Saskatchewan, I think, when you look at the league, Saskatchewan has probably the best fans in the league, right? The Rough Riders on the prairies, those guys, they love their Saskatchewan Rough Riders, and this is going to be a hostile environment for Winnipeg. But Winnipeg showed again last week, even though they lost the Grey Cup last year, Winnipeg's been one of the best football teams in the Canadian Football League the last 3 years. In fact, when you go look, let's just go to the numbers, right? When you look at the numbers, let's go Winnipeg, home or away, any team, let's say the last 50 games. Look at their record. 38-12. Last 50 games. 32-12, 32-18 against the point spread. That's phenomenal. I know they're even at home. Their record at home is just crazy. Look at this. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers at home last 25 games. Look at this crazy record. 22-3. Hey, that's like De La Salle High School there back in when Bob Ladouceur had those. Remember Bob Ladouceur, the high school coach? I learned a lot from just his books, and when when I was getting into coaching, and De La Salle High School in California, winning all these games. Remember they went on that streak. What was the win streak? I can't remember the number. Was it 52 or maybe like 252? But they had this win streak, and I said, okay, well, what's this guy doing? Every coach in the nation's like, okay, what's this coach doing over there? We got to go. Even the Canadian coaches are coming to look for him, right? But yeah, so Winnipeg at home, man. Yeah, you don't bet against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at home, that's for sure. I got 26-22. When I look at the depth chart for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, now it looks like Trevor Harris is questionable, but has a hip. Yeah, remember he took that and even the announcer said, "Why is he taking a hit on the last play of the game?" Now, and he got up and he was gingerly. He got up gingerly. He was like nursing that hip, so you guarantee he's got some type of hip pointer. So Trevor Harris not going to be in a really good. That was a really bad hit. That was a crazy play. Why would you throw your quarterback under the bus like that? Mason Fine, Shea Patterson are your backups. Jamal Morrow. The one thing Saskatchewan can do, they can run the football with Jamal Morrow. Frankie Hickson, the backup. From a wide receiver point of view, you got some Emilius is questionable. Alford's there. Walker's out. No, Darrell Walker is out. Tevon Jones, questionable. Darrell Walker. Yeah, so he played last week. Didn't he get a touchdown? Yeah, he got a touchdown last week. So no Walker. Trevor Harris is on the gimp. Oh boy. Hey, no wonder that line went up to 6.5. Yeah, you know what? Winnipeg is the play here. I think Winnipeg is the play. Jake Winicky. Yeah. Let me see how's Winnipeg coming in. They coming in healthy. Zach Caleros. Man, you know what? Zach Caleros the last couple of years has been absolutely solid. Drew Brown, the backup. Brady Oliveira. The running game in Winnipeg didn't miss a beat last week. Looking at the Kenny Lawler is the only receiver that's out. Yeah, I like Winnipeg here. I like Winnipeg a lot, even though the money line's a little bit expensive. Winnipeg, I don't like laying points though. You guys know that 6.5, 26-22. No, I think that score is going to be more like 32-17 type thing. I like Winnipeg, but I'll look at the money line, see how expensive. Let me see if some of these books are scared to put the money line bets and numbers out there. Hey, I do. Let me just go check out what's the latest money line. If it's in the 300s, forget it. Who are you guys liking on this weekend on the game? Let me see. CFL. All right, where's my Canadian Football League? All right, CFL. Money line, Winnipeg, 270. Ooh, a little bit expensive. Hey, might be a fraction payment. Hey, maybe Winnipeg on the money line with a dancing partner, right? Maybe you do Winnipeg with another pick. Maybe we'll see if we can get a dancing partner for Winnipeg on a 2-team parlay. All right, Winnipeg. All right, also, Blue Bomber quarterback is great friends with Travis Kelce, and I know he saw Travis win another championship, so he might be looking forward to that. Hey, you know what? These guys get inspired by that stuff, right? Blue Bomber quarterback is on a mission this year, says Daryl Turner. That's why the under is the play. Okay, he's talking about the Calgary. You know what? I like Winnipeg here. Let's go look at some of the stats. In Saskatchewan, 6-4 in the last 10, 5-5 against the number, 4-6 to the under. Look at the under record. And anytime the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Saskatchewan Roughriders played in the last 10 games, 9-1 to the under. So I think the under could be but I had a 32-17 type game. I said that's 49. And what's the total in this game? 46.5. And what did I say earlier in the week? I said 48. Remember I gave you guys my line at the beginning of the week? I thought a 48 would be there. And what's the total? I think the over. You know what, guys? But the only thing is no Trevor Harris, so who's going to put the ball in the end zone? Hey, who's going to throw this? What do I say all the time to the team? You throw to score, you run to win. That's one of the rules in football. Throw to score, you run to win. Teams that can throw the ball can score points. Team that can run the ball will win games. And defense wins championship. Can't leave the defense out. And then the special teams coordinator is like, what about us? Don't we get a saying? Hey, poor special teams. Hey, I used to have a coach say, hey, special team is not an ornament on a tree, or it's not a luxury. It's not some type of luxury. You gotta spend time on your special teams. Not a novelty. That's what he used to say. Special teams are not a novelty. That's one of the things that one of the coaches I used to know. It's like, man, why do coaches treat special teams like novelties? No idea. All right, Edmonton taking on the BC Lions off that big win last week. In fact, the Lions 25-15 was the final. Edmonton 17-13 lost to Saskatchewan. And you know what? Edmonton, hey, what?
What the hell's going on out here?
3rd and 1 on the goal, then you got 3 shots to punch it in, and you got to give credit to the Saskatchewan defense of on a goal line stance. They crushed them. That absolutely took all the air out of the game. If I was a fan, I'd probably head into the car right there. Hey, listen to the game in the rest of the game in the car, because you get on the 1 yard line, you can't punch it in, and you know why is it always quarterback sneaks? Why not like an end around or a play action pass? Here's the thing, you know, because in the Canadian Football League you got to give 1 yard, and you know people are saying, well, they're already giving you a yard. How come you can't get 1 yard? And, well, you got all these big bodies in one, a mass in one, in a 8-foot area, and sometimes you need to go in shotgun and just spread them and shred them. Right? You just got to spread them out, and instead of having like 9 or 9 guys in the line of scrimmage, just keep your 5 linemen and go in shotgun and try to run it against 6 defenders. If they bring the safety down, right, then you got +1 in the box. All right, let me see here. We got Edmonton against BC. So the numbers: British Columbia Lions last week did pretty good, -7. I got a 28.4 to 19.3. Now let's take a look at the alignments for the BC Lions going into this week. Vernon Adams Jr., former Oregon Duck, did very well last week. I thought he had one of the best games last week when it came to numbers. Dane Evans, a former Hamilton Tiger Cat, now is the backup. And then another backup used to be here in Ottawa, Dominic Davis, is now the 3rd string quarterback in British Columbia. Lucky Whitehead is considered a question mark here today. I don't think Lucky played last week either, eh? Lucky did Lucky? I didn't see a lot of 2 receptions, only 16 yards. So we didn't see a lot of Lucky Whitehead last week. But you know what? BC, let's see how BC has done the last couple of years. Where's my database here? Okay, let's go. BC Lions at home. Let's say the last. Now Nathan Rourke was the quarterback last year. Then they got injured, and then BC struggled when he left. But they're still 7-3 in their last 10 home games, which is pretty good. 7-3. Now they're playing the Edmonton. Okay, so Edmonton's a C-type team. How does BC play against the teams below 500? 8-1, 7-2 in their last 10. But they've only the last 9. All right, so it goes back to 2019. So when the BC Lions are at home against the average score is 38-12. So when the BC Lions are playing teams below 500 at home, the last 9 games, the average score is 38-12. So, how many games was that with Nathan Rourke or, a valid quarterback? Or not that Vernon's not valid, but he's not experienced yet, right? It's just, you get these young quarterbacks still getting the game. But the one thing that you're seeing in the NFL, you get these young quarterbacks who come in, and they come in through RPO systems, right? The run-pass option systems. So a lot of zone reads, and it's really messing up a lot of the defense. But you know what? We're talking this with my friend yesterday at the clinic, Malcolm. A lot of defensive coordinators have caught up. When you look at the NFL, college football, we used to talk about all the offense and all the scoring, but you look at the last couple of years, even Nick Saban has talked about it, and a lot of people have talked about it. The defensive coordinators have caught up to the offense, and you're starting to see it. And look at last week in the CFL, a lot of low-scoring games. So something to really look out. That when you think of the Canadian Football League, you think of all these CFL offenses and how they're throwing a lot of footballs and they're scoring a lot of points. The defenses are catching up, and they're bringing in these different schemes, these different formations in the pass coverage to really confuse the offense. And now you're seeing that the scoring is going to be a little bit lower. So you know what? I think Daryl, you're onto something there with the under. So keep an eye on the under. I think the under is maybe something that we're going to have to look at. But back to this game, BC, man, they just dominated against the C-type team. So I see another blowout here. But Taylor Cornelius has played really good for the Edmonton Eskimos. But Edmonton's like Ottawa. Hey, how about our offense?
How about our offense? When are we going to put it together? When are we going to put it together?
Yep. 13 for 25 last week, 202 yards. In the CFL, if you don't throw for 300 yards every game, that's not a good game. If you want to, in the CFL, in a bigger field, obviously you only get 3 downs. Yeah, you should be throwing for 300 yards a game and rushing for 100. That, to me, that's a good day at the office. That's a really good day at the office if you can do that, right? Taylor Cornelius, listen to Edmonton tonight or Saturday. This game's on Saturday. Kay Loxley's the backup. Trey Ford, a product of Waterloo, and Kevin Brown, the running back. So no major injuries for Edmonton that I see on the injured reserve, unless you guys see something, because the site I use, I don't know how accurate they are for the injury report. BC, yeah, just Lucky Whitehead. All right, 28-19. Yeah, you know what? That seems right. BC. I don't know if I want to lay 7 though. BC. What's the money line on BC? Probably the same thing as minus 300. I'm not laying 300. There's your dancing partner for Winnipeg. Winnipeg, BC, 2-team parlay. Is that the way you want to go? Let me see how Edmonton has done at BC Place. 4-6 straight up and against the number. In the last 10 head-to-head meetings, you can see that the Lions are 6-4 straight up, 6-4 against the number. Nothing. Last time these two teams met was October 21st. It was a 31-14 win for the Lions. Prior to that, August 6th, 46-14. So BC's got their numbers, and you know what? I like Campbell. I like Rick Campbell, the head coach for the BC Lions, and I like Jones too. I like Chris Jones. I don't know if Campbell's more of a defensive guy, or I don't know if he was offense or defense, but I know Jonesy's more of a defensive guy. But I like BC here. I think BC and the over. I think the over might be. I got 47. What I got 45. But I just talked about keep an eye on the under because all the defenses. But look what the bookmakers are doing. Look at Ross Benjamin. Think like a bookmaker. If we know that the defense are catching up and people are talking about low scoring games and the bookmakers see that and they're hanging a 45.5, you gotta ask yourself, okay, well, what do they know we don't know? And let's take a look at here's the thing. Let me go to the average score again using that. Let me see. Let's go Edmonton on the road against A-type teams. Yeah, BC is going to be an A-type team. We know it, right? The average score is 33-15. All right, so 33-15. So that's 48. All right, that's pretty good, right? How about BC? BC at home against C-type teams, last 10. The average score 38-12. Okay, so that's what, 50? So what's the middle? 49. Yeah, the over. I think the over is a play. And you got 2 quarterbacks who can sling it, right? You got Vernon Adams Jr. who can, and he can run. So, and Cornelius showed last week that he could throw it too. And you know what? I think he had some good rushing yards too. Let me see what the Cornelius has in rushing last week. Let me see. Rushing? No, only once. Yeah, no. 14 yards, still a good average. Hey, he's not a rushing quarterback, that's for sure. All right, but what about Vernon Adams Jr.? Let me see what Vernon Adams Jr. had last week against Calgary. Rush 4. Let me see, Calgary. Where's the rushing? All right, 10 attempts. Wow, really? BC? Did he really have 10 attempts, 35 yards? Wow. Okay. Did he really rush for 10 yards? 10 attempts, 35 yards? Is this correct? Do you guys know if that's right? But it says Team BC, Game 1. Wow. 10 rushing attempts for Vernon. You know, Tracy Ham, every time I think of the rushing quarterbacks in the CFL, I always go to 2 guys, my 1-2 punch, Tracy Ham and Damon Allen. You go look back at old CFL film, and Tracy Ham, probably the best running quarterback. And I know somebody knows Tracy Ham in the bullpen, but Tracy Ham was one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the CFL. And maybe Vernon Adams, that's 10 attempts, 35 yards. That's pretty good. Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, this is supposed to be a morning show, and it's already good afternoon. The truth says, you know what? It's we'll have to finish the show on this note here. Hamilton and Toronto. There we go. Game of the week right there. Hamilton and Toronto, your defending Grey Cup champions against the Tiger Cats. Hamilton did do well last week. A lot of turnovers, but they also created a lot of turnovers. And looking at Bo Levi Mitchell, he's gonna get a taste of the 401 series against the Toronto Argonauts. Toronto's a really good football team. Now, new quarterback this year, so we're gonna have to see. But Bo Levi Mitchell last week, 17 for 33, only hit 51.5 completion mark. Yards per game, 200. Only threw for 200 yards. You got to throw for 300 yards in the CFL to have a really good day at the office. All right, it looks like they're healthy. Looks like Hamilton's healthy. Toronto's healthy. They didn't play last week. And for the Argonaut, you got Chad Kelly now, new quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts. He was there last year, played in 9 games. He was 26 for 45, but now it's his show, right? So going to Plan B, Brian Scott, the backup. AJ Willett, really pounding running back. My guy, Curly Gittens Jr., who I coach here in Ottawa. Curly's a phenomenal player. And you know what? This is going to be a tough one for Hamilton, but I kind of, when you look at the quarterback situation, the line's telling you, well, look at that. Hamilton -2. I had Toronto -4, and this line is flipped now. This line has flipped. Let me see. What was, -1.5. So I kind of like Hamilton here. But I like the disrespect card that Toronto's getting. Toronto's a really good team too. It's just that it might be a week to evaluate the quarterback, trying to see what Toronto's going to be like this week. But I think the over 2 is where I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Man, I really want to take Hamilton, but now that the line is flipped, I don't like that. But I'm going to go with the better quarterback. Hamilton, pick 'em. Why lay 2 when you can just lay -130? So let's go Hamilton -130, but the over of 47 is the better play in my book. I think over. I kind of like a lot of overs this week. I got 3 overs and 1 under in the Ottawa game. And you talked me into it, Daryl. You talked me into that under. So I got Ottawa +6, Winnipeg money line with BC money line. I like Winnipeg to win, but I'm not laying 6. BC -7, I'm not laying 7. I like the over better. And I like Hamilton, pick them, and I like the over in that game. So those are my CFL selections for week number 2 of the Canadian Football League. All right, before you go, always got a little AI.
We're talking about practice. Not a game. We're talking about practice. Practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
Yeah, not silly at all. We're talking about the 80% Club stats, and we can get the 80% Club stats here each and every day. Man, this show's long today, 1:30. Normally it's a 1-hour show, but CFL overtime, still pumped from yesterday. Look at that. Oh, yeah, it's Thursday. Hey, it's Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. The Cleveland Guardians, as an away team playing on Thursday, 19-1-1. Hey, that's a mic drop off right there. And it's 21-2-0 last 3 years, so that's pretty good. The Rockies is a away team coming off a game that went under the total, 11-1 on the season, 11-1-1. And the Dodgers, there you go, Derek. Dodgers 25-5 playing on a Thirsty Thursday last 4 years. Those are your Rain Report 80% Club stats brought to you by ATSstats.com and your top 25 sports betting matchups today. Let's go to Ron's favorites. Where's Ron's favorites? Right there, top 25 sports betting matchups, and we'll see what the number 1, 2, and 3 are. Let's go right here. No, Vegas is gone. We'll go to baseball. All right, Toronto. We got some doubles here. We got Toronto, the number 1 play on the sports betting option. We got Pittsburgh at number 2, Chicago White Sox at number 3, and then Tampa Bay at number 4, and Minnesota at number 5. But we got double entries, so I'm going to talk to the programmer, say, hey, what's up with that? All right, that's it. That's a wrap. That's the show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show here today, and I'll be back next Tuesday with another edition of the Rain Report. And again, if you like the show, hit that like button, and hopefully you have a great rest of your Thirsty Thursday. I'll be back next Tuesday with another edition of the Rain Report. In the meantime, shop for value, play those percentages. I'll see you back Thursday with another edition of the Rain Report. Harry Carey, get us out of here.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball.
To be the man, you gotta be the man.
Joe, own the Chiefs.
Owns.
Owns.
I don't know.
Struggling.
Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Straight cash, homie.
Holy cow!
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
What the hell's going on out here?
Woo!
If you smile, what the rock is cooking.
That's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
Let's go to eat a goddamn snack.